Welcome back to Wrestling Flash. In this WWE and all things wrestling video we are going to look at: The Undertaker rejects the WWE Hall of Fame because of Brock Lesnar. WWE done with Alexa Bliss. WWE replaces Big E. Bayley aggressive two-word tweet. WWE star mentioned on AEW. Reaction. Be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell, so you are the first to know when we upload a new video. WWE done with Alexa Bliss. Alexa Bliss recently spoke about a possible in-ring return to WWE in reply to a fan. Bliss has been missing from action, last appearing at Elimination Chamber 2022. Unfortunately, this was her first match since September 2021, where she lost to Charlotte Flair at Extreme Rules. After the match, Charlotte tore Bliss doll Lily, which caused the latter to have a meltdown, while backstage segments showed Bliss on her journey back to Raw. In the end, she returned at Elimination Chamber and left after Bianca Belair's victory. Fans are wondering when Alexa Bliss will return for good. Bliss was asked the question directly on Twitter. She replied her WWE return isn't up to her. Naturally, WWE officials and management decide when stars will get to perform. Unfortunately for Bliss, she's now on the sideline for an extended period. Bliss' answer indicates it's not an injury keeping her out, and she can't do anything to rush her return. Alexa Bliss has suffered multiple injuries throughout her WWE career. The concussions she suffered sidelined her from in-ring action for a long time. Speaking about injuries she suffered, Alexa Bliss said while fans criticized WWE, Vince McMahon and other officials took the utmost caution with their star's health. She revealed what the WWE chairman told her after her injuries. WWE takes care of us 100%. We all are in a contract, and anything that happens inside the ring, WWE takes care of. Our health is 100% priority. Our health and safety is 100% priority. Unfortunately, we're living in the middle of a cancel culture, where people try to start rumors and make their assumptions of things. There has never been a time where I've ever felt uncomfortable being in the ring, or ever felt forced about being in the ring. Even when I was injured, I had concussions, and Vince said, "All right, well, we're going to send you to the best specialists there are." And he did, and I saw a concussion specialist, and they went above and beyond to take care of me. I know everyone feels that way. Hopefully, fans will see Alexa Bliss make an in-ring return soon. Bayley aggressive two-word tweet. Former Raw and SmackDown Women's Champion Bayley posted a cryptic tweet as rumors emerged surrounding her highly anticipated return to WWE. The role model has been out of action since July last year after tearing her ACL while training at the WWE Performance Center in Orlando. Before her injury, she was set to face Bianca Belair for the SmackDown Women's Championship at Money in the Bank. Instead, the bout was moved to the blue brand, with Carmella being announced as the replacement. It's been reported that Bayley and Asuka could return to the company soon. The Empress of Tomorrow has been sidelined for months after injuring her shoulder, and she's currently waiting to be placed in a storyline. Neither star is scheduled to compete at WrestleMania, and they could both make their return on the Raw after the show of shows. The former women's champion recently took to Twitter to send out a two-worded message, leaving fans in the dark about what she's referring to. "I will," she wrote. Bayley didn't compete at last year's WrestleMania, and she'll miss the grandest stage of them all once again. But that didn't stop her from teasing a match against former Raw Women's Champion Rhea Ripley. She tweeted asking the Nightmare if she's ready for a new opponent yet. Ripley then responded, asking her if she was volunteering to be her new punching bag. Ripley has already been booked for WrestleMania. She's set to team up with Liv Morgan to take on Carmella and Zelina Vega and Sasha Banks and Naomi for the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship. Do you think the role model will make a surprise return at WrestleMania? Let us know in the comments section below. WWE replaces Big E. Big E suffered a horrifying neck injury on SmackDown last week. After being suplexed by Ridge Holland during a tag team match, Big E got stretchered out of the arena. Reports stated the former WWE champion wouldn't require surgery, but his in-ring career might be over. That may not be true. As per medical reports, he broke his C1 and C6 vertebrae, but there was no damage to the spinal cord. The New Day member was lucky as he could have gotten paralyzed. Dave Meltzer of the Wrestling Observer newsletter revealed even though Big E will be out for an extended period, his in-ring career isn't over. But in a sense he was lucky, and even joked about it, noting that if it's going to happen, Birmingham is the best place since WWE sends its talent to Birmingham for serious injury, and he will not need surgery, which would put him out of action for a long time. He is expected to make a recovery and return to the ring. The report also stated that Xavier Woods had been brought back by WWE to replace Big E in the weekend shows. Woods was out with an injury, and WWE brought him from Raw to replace E as Kofi Kingston's partner on SmackDown. Woods, who had been injured, was brought back with E being out to replace him on the weekend shows. While all three members belong to the New Day, Woods and Kingston had been competing as a tag team, whereas Big E pursued a singles career. Those plans got scrapped, and the idea of the New Day was to face Sheamus, Ridge Holland, and Butch at WrestleMania 38. WWE star mentioned on AEW Reaction. Chris Jericho hasn't forgotten about his former best friend in WWE. Last night on AEW Dynamite, Jericho introduced his new stable, the Jericho Appreciation Society. While doing the introduction, he told a story about what happened when 2.0 got released from WWE NXT. He revealed that his former best friend called him to ask for a favor by getting the duo on his Talk is Jericho podcast. Their appearance on the show led to them being signed by All Elite Wrestling. So Kevin Owens did a good thing by looking out for his friends who needed a job. Owens acknowledged this today on social media, tweeting out, "I'm a good friend," Kevin Owens tweeted. If you're a new fan of professional wrestling, you may be wondering why Chris Jericho and Kevin Owens are considered former best friends. Back on an episode of WWE Raw in February 2017, Kevin Owens held a festival of friendship for Jericho. It was arguably one of the most entertaining segments in the history of the Red brand. The festival of friendship ended when Owens gave Jericho a new list. But it wasn't a list of Jericho. It was a list of KO. Owens then proceeded to take out Jericho, which led to a match between the two men later that year at WrestleMania. While the two might be former best friends, it's good to hear that they are still on speaking terms, as it allowed 2.0 to land a job in another company following their WWE release. What are your thoughts on Jericho bringing up Kevin Owens on AEW Dynamite? Do you like it when the two companies acknowledge each other's existence? Let us know your thoughts by sounding off in the comments section below. The Undertaker rejects the WWE Hall of Fame because of Brock Lesnar. The Undertaker recently revealed that he rejected an offer to join the WWE Hall of Fame after his WrestleMania 30 match against Brock Lesnar. The WWE Icon's 21-match WrestleMania undefeated streak came to an end against Lesnar in 2014. A year later, WWE wanted to celebrate his legendary career by inducting him into the Hall of Fame. Speaking to the Dallas Morning News, the soon-to-be Hall of Famer said he turned down WWE's initial offer because he wanted to continue wrestling. "This is actually the second time that I was invited to the Hall of Fame, so I wasn't as shocked this time," said The Undertaker. "I turned it down the first time because I knew I had unfinished business. I wasn't at that place yet where I was ready to let go and say that it's over. This time, I've made my peace and I'm just honored and humbled that they would induct me." The Deadman is due to be inducted into the Hall of Fame by WWE Chairman Vince McMahon in Dallas, Texas on Friday, April 1st. His induction comes 2 years after he decided to end his 34-year wrestling career. The Undertaker suffered a concussion during his match against Brock Lesnar, so he has no recollection of his undefeated streak ending. Following the 25-minute contest, the legendary superstar collapsed backstage and had to go to hospital. Reflecting on his WrestleMania 30 experience, the 56-year-old explained why he did not want his career to end after the famous defeat. "It was, I want to say, after the Brock WrestleMania," The Undertaker continued. "Yeah, I think it was after that. In my head, I couldn't end on a match that I didn't remember. I got concussed and I don't remember even having that match, so I wanted to at least have a match that I could remember." WrestleMania 38 will be held at AT&T Stadium on Saturday, April 2nd and Sunday, April 3rd. As a Hall of Fame inductee, The Undertaker is likely to make an appearance on the stage area on one or both nights of the star-studded event.